Hi, everybody. Me, Daniel. How you doing? Back with another video. Okay. Well, I know YouTube wants to make sure that this content was for kids, not for kids, but no, this is going to be for kids because I'm speaking to everybody as a whole. Now, when I was growing up back in the days, my generation, Generation X, we didn't have no internet. I was born in 1970, by the way. We didn't have no internet. We didn't have no smartphones. And I remember the day when I first got a cell phone. I'm going to share that with you later. But I remember when the internet became available for civilians. Can I say civilians because before we had it, the military had it, and they had it to exchange classified information. So the internet came on scene. It was growing up in the 1980s, by the way. So we started putting the internet. Movies even started coming out. These different movies like hacking, war games. That's one movie. There was a whole bunch of other ones later came out. So I grew up with the dial-up service. You have your phone line going from the computer into the wall, into the phone line jack. And remember the dial-up. You hear the phone dial the number. Then you hear that. You hear the tone. Then the tone would cut off, and then you're logged in. You're either logged in or kicked off. At that time, I remember America Online being on that most of the time. Like I know nowadays we got all these social media sites, but in my times we had what we call AOL chat rooms, and chat rooms that people will give a title, and you could go into different chat rooms on different topics. And I remember taking a crazy chance meeting people that I have met from the chat rooms in real life, face to face. So yeah, we didn't have smartphones. And then I remember when the smartphones became more affordable for the average citizen to have. I remember before they were like up into thousands of dollars. I remember the day I got a smartphone, my father looked at me and like, why would you want that? You're no businessman. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, Dad. I just thought it was a cool thing to have your own phone. Now I'm going to show you what I had, but this is not the one that I have, but this is from my collection. This right here, and then it's not on. I don't even have the plug, to plug it into, but this is what I grew up with. Look how big and bulky that is. Bulky, and then you had to pull out this antenna, so you just dial, and then you make your call. But yeah, that's what I grew up with. This it's a whole new ball game, especially for the younger generation and the one that has not yet been born to coming into this. And I'm going to share with you why I believe that this is becoming a real problem. And I'm beginning to see it with people. I'm beginning to question things because me, old school, we didn't have this. We didn't have this. We didn't have this. We had this. Just dial numbers and you make your phone call, and that was it. And once you're done, that was that. that was the end of the call. We had people doing this. We had people doing this. If we did this back then, it would look pretty stupid. Yeah. Well, what is he doing? Walking around like this? No, that won't look good at all. But here's the thing about this. As far as government listening on phone calls, and I was just watching a video last week on Edward Snowden talked about how the phone is always on, even when it's off. You may think it's off, but it's not off, it's on. And the only way to shut the phone completely off is doing this. If I can do it. Yeah. That's the problem with these phones. You can't remove the battery, especially from an iPhone, Apple iPhone. Some of them, you can't remove the battery. So I was just, looking at people, observing people, and then started pondering on something from back when I was growing up. I'm going to college right now, and my college is really in tune to the technical side, the internet, and stuff like that. We have to do all our assignments online through the internet, all assignments online. We submit our homework online through the portal that they provide us with. So I've noticed that people don't really talk much to anybody. When I was growing up, going in high school, junior high school, I remember people coming up to me and talking to me. I remember the girls coming up and talking to me. And the thing about me, I have a very difficult time. I can't even walk up to somebody. And maybe it's because of my past. I've been rejected. Me being a disabled person, I've been rejected by a lot of people. I have nothing to do with. I went through a lot when I was growing up. I wish they had the bullying laws back then. We didn't have those. They weren't that strict on it the way it is now. So I'm looking at people, and what I'm beginning to see, people so drawn into this that they're in an isolation. They're isolated with their cell phones. They're isolated to the point where they don't even look up at anybody and don't even talk to anybody. You can walk into a doctor's office or a DMV office or some corporate office where you have to sit in the lobby and wait until you get called up. And it's more than likely that you're going to find people doing two things. They're either reading a periodical, as in a magazine, which we always had those around. Because nowadays, people don't even read magazines. Why? Because they're on this. They're either going to be on this or they're going to be on some tablet. I've seen kids just sitting there so preoccupied looking on this, doing all these things on their phone. Like, it's like everything is just cut off. It's like you're cut off. You're isolated over to a stupid, I call dumb phone, which is not a smartphone, because I'm beginning to see that this is making people more dumber than smarter. And somebody could be so zoned into this phone to where a couple of 5 miles away, a nuclear bomb will go off, and they won't even know. They won't even know that they're on the phone, that they're so occupied. Nobody has any conversations, excuse me. Nobody has any conversations And one of the things I noticed since I've been in college, nobody comes up and talks to me. I'm not trying to throw a pity party here, but me being an old school person, I begin to wonder why that is. Because I remember when I was going to school, people went up to one another. People talked to one another. And I'm told, well, maybe you should go up. And why should I go up? And why can't they come up and no? Because they're on this thing. That's why. And it's isolating people. Here's another thing. You're sitting around with a bunch of friends, right? And instead of talking, what are people doing? Oh, wait a minute. I got to check my text messages. Hold on. Hold that thought. That's rude. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Yes, I'm guilty of it too, because I'm speaking to me here. It didn't become a problem. The other problem is, let's say you owe somebody money, right? And you need, like, let's say you need to pay somebody who just did a service for you at your house, a gardener or a painter or whatever. So instead of going to the bank like we used to do back in the days and just getting the money and then giving that person money, tangible money, not just digital crap, tangible money, and it's handed to them right into their hands. I'll just do this, do that, and then there, you got the money. This would be making people more lazier. And I don't know what's going to happen in this next generation has yet to come. It's very sad, very, in a way, I'm not scared, but in a way it is scary because it's an isolation tool. But I'm going to show you something else here. I'll show you this phone that I used to have. I grew up with this, and then it went from that to this. Nothing new, right? Well, this is the Motorola StarTAC. This was the first flip phone invented by Motorola before Apple came along. Because before Apple, it was Motorola that dominated the market. And it's a thing that they got a pull-up antenna and it make your call, and this one works. You can hear that vibrate. Make the call. That's it. It's not going to work, but yeah. So this is what it was like. As a matter of fact, I had this phone. When I went from this big bulky, you could see how they start to change. From this to this. And then I have an older Apple phone. And it seems like that they're going from small to big. The reason why it's big because I have a case in here. It makes the phone from here to there, from here to there. And it seems like, let me see something. If I could do this. Oh, this is almost the same. I can put it face to face. Oh, look at that. The screen is almost the same size as the old phones, but they're getting bigger. And I've seen phones even bigger than this. But what I'm trying to zero in on is I think becoming a problem. I had a professor that who believes that it's going to become they're going to eventually diagnose it as a mental, probably like a mental problem, because if you were to take a phone away from somebody, or you put just say, all right, a child, all right, I know parents give their phones to their children so they can keep in contact with mom and dad, but you take that phone away from a child, what happens? They start screaming and crying and just going crazy. And I've seen some news articles and programs where this has happened. It's caused a problem. As a matter of fact, I think there was a case where this girl killed her parents because it took the phone away from her. So yes, this is becoming a problem. It's becoming a very bad problem, and it's making people not smart but more dumb, more dumber. Because people are isolated. This is a tool of isolation. Nobody carries on conversation. Because back in my mother's father's times, because I came in at the tail end, because I'm old school, I came in at the tail end of their times, and we went into the cell phones and stuff, the internet. They didn't have any of that. People knew one another. They would talk to one another. People would drop in on one another at their home. They won't be. They're not on the at home doing this. Oh, let me drop in on Phil and see how he's doing. I just sent him a text message. No, no. Again, I'm guilty of it too. I can remember my mother picking up the phone. I remember when we had the rotary dial phones. I remember my mother picking up a phone and making a phone call. We had landlines. We didn't have cell phones. Now people are ditching landlines and they're using cell phones, and the way things are changing, it's just crazy. Yeah, this is an educational video. This is something people need to think about. And then I see why people don't even talk to me. I'm not trying to throw a pity party, but I begin to wonder about this. And back when I was going to school, it wasn't like that. I do remember reading an article how this is it's taken away from actual face-to-face conversations. Another thing, what about people sitting at the dinner table? What do you think people with on their cell phone? As a matter of fact, one of the Back in the Future movies, I think it was Back in the Future 2, showed the scene where everybody around the kitchen table, they were on their gadgets. So a tool that's supposed to help people is really um, damaging people because, again, it's isolating people to their own zone where they just block everything out. They don't see anything else but this, and and it can be very dangerous and damaging. Okay, well, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.